What's up, everybody? Khalid Iwamura here from inhalton.com, and I am here with the one and only Marianne Meed, the mayor of Burlington. I haven't talked to you in about a year. How you doing?
Very well. Excited to be back in office. Excited to pick up our conversations. I know the community really appreciates them, so it's great to be back.
Okay, awesome. Let's talk about the Queen of Mississauga that left us on Sunday, Hazel McCallion. What are your thoughts on her, and how has she influenced you?
Well, she was a trailblazer for women that wanted to pursue elected office, and we're still a minority, right? There's only about 25 to 30% of women at all levels of elected government. So, we're still a minority, but she just showed what could be done. She was fierce. She was a fighter. The badge of honor for any mayor, including me, was ever to be compared favorably to Hazel. And just her spirit and her fight and her drive, and she went for what she believed in, and she didn't much care what you thought of her. She was going to go for it. And she did politics the same way she did professional hockey. She got in there and she got the job done. So I know she's inspired men and women, but certainly was a real trailblazer for a lot of us who looked to a career in elected office.
Awesome. So let's get to Burlington business here. The city won a battle of the Ontario Land Tribunal regarding the Waterfront Hotel proposal. What's the latest on this, and what does it mean?
So we got a ruling from the tribunal that the date on which the application was made was when they filed all of their supporting studies. And that is a critically important date because it is after the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing shifted the urban growth center and the major transit station area designations from the downtown to the GO station. And those two designations were used by applicants, including this one, to justify overdevelopment in the downtown. Well, you're in an urban growth center, therefore the idea, anything goes, or you're near a major transit station area, anything goes. So they will no longer be able to rely on those planning designations, and they will have to come back with something that's more suitable for this key landmark site right next to Spencer Smith Park in our downtown. So it's a huge first round victory for the city. They are challenging that, so that will, a final decision will be made on that, and then we have to get to the hearing of the actual application they've put forward. So we're not out of the woods, but it's a significant victory for the city that I believe will help control what council has determined to be overdevelopment of this site.
Awesome. I saw on your Instagram, you're talking about coyote mating season. What shouldn't people do?
Well, stay away if you see coyotes, and they like to be in secluded areas, wooded areas. The city is putting up signage where we know that coyote activity is happening. In the past, I don't know if we'll have to do that this year, but in the past we've closed certain trails next to water creeks where we know that they go. But if you see something, say something. Reach out to city@burlington.ca or go online. That you can fill out the coyote reporting form. We really do rely on the community to help us to track activities of coyote, especially if you see one that doesn't look well, because we can take action if there's a coyote that's not well. But they don't much like us, and so they will back off if you make loud noises, if you raise your arms to look larger. They tend not to bother with us. And the ones that did earlier last year, it's because they were conditioned to see people as food because somebody was feeding them. So don't ever do that. Secure your food sources. They're not pets, and they can fend for themselves, and they need to, because when they become not afraid of humans, that's when they become dangerous to us. And we want them to be able to live peacefully as well, but make sure that there's no conflict between coyotes and humans, obviously.
Awesome. I know that Hamilton and Burlington have a very unique relationship when it comes to LaSalle Park. Can you talk about the relationship, and is Burlington negotiating to buy the park?
So our staff are talking to Hamilton staff. Of course, there's a new Hamilton City Council, so they'll need to get briefed on this matter. But we're going to figure this out this term of council, one way or the other. I'm optimistic, and we don't know much more than that. But there have always been ongoing conversations between staff at the city and Hamilton, and those will continue until we have a recommendation to both our councils about how to proceed.
Awesome. Where is the ball, in their court or your court?
They are in discussions. Yeah.
So they're in discussion. Okay. 5.8% tax increase. Is this the right time for it, or did you have no choice?
Well, you always have choices, but the choice is to plan for the future and protect the community, provide the services that they need, and catch up to growth in the community by way of amenities and parks, which we haven't kept up to. Make sure that infrastructure is in a state of good repair, make sure that we deal with inflation, make sure that we deal with the ongoing impacts of COVID. So when we look at the need to take care of all those things and respond to the pain points that we've heard from the community around, we need more bylaw officers, and we need to make sure that we have a good coyote strategy, and we want automated speed enforcement to cut down on speeding in neighborhoods for public safety. We've heard that and so much more from the community. So we have, our staff and council will deliberate on this next week, but we've built a budget that responds to all of that. There are no frills, there are no nice to haves. This is really setting the foundation for the future, and also catching up to the growth of the past. And it doesn't do us any good if we don't get to infrastructure requirements this year, because they become more expensive the longer you wait, up to 10 times more expensive the longer you wait. So that's not looking after the community. We understand that it is a significant increase. You've quoted the city portion. There's also a regional portion for regional services, which includes paramedics, public health, water and wastewater, garbage. You get all that too. So the total impact at this point, before council does our work, is a little over 7%. And that's about $1.50 a day. I think it's good value for money, but I'm looking forward to the conversations with council and hearing more from the community.
Awesome. There's been a lot of talk about Bateman Properties and its future multi-use facility. What can residents expect, and is there a time frame around this?
So yes, this spring our staff will be starting on public engagement with the community around what to do with the vacant parts of the center. So Bateman is massive. It is over 200,000 square feet plus, including a pool, which we didn't own, but we operated. So we've secured the pool. Brock University will be coming. Halton District School Board will be maintaining some space. We're going to have an expanded library to accommodate for all the growth and demands on the library, and Tech Place. All of that will take about 100,000 square feet. We've got half of the building left to fill with community amenities. There's also the double gym that we can program for community. There's a track and field out back. So, I've heard from the community lots of amazing ideas for how we can make that space open for the community. And by the way, just that piece, the 100,000 square feet that is up for discussion with the community, that alone will be the largest community center in the city. Right now, our biggest community center is Tansley, which has a pool, a library, gyms at 60,000 square feet. So just to give you an idea of the scope and scale, this is going to be the biggest community facility in the city.
Is there a time frame?
So the consultation is starting now with the community about that space. But yeah, there is already, council has approved design work, and there's remediation work that needs to take place. We're hoping to get all of our tenants in September 2024. So all of that is kind of happening concurrent. But yeah, watch for the ribbon cutting next year.
Awesome. Cool. Here's one from our journalist. Why is Burlington switching to the permit program for parking in residential neighborhoods? How much will this cost users?
So we're consulting with the community about whether they want a permit program. So we haven't switched. Nothing has been decided. We're out talking to the community because residents have said, look, I have a small driveway. My adult kids are back. For example, where we can only park up to 15 days on city streets. We constantly get tickets. We do already have specialized neighborhood parking programs in Alton and Orchard because of the needs in those communities. But we've had other neighborhoods and residential areas saying, hey, what about us? We want to have consideration of what they've got. So it will really be to hear from the community about whether they want to add on-street parking in other neighborhoods and where and what the process would be to add those. But that's a survey online right now. Tell us what you think, including, no change would be an option that you could choose as well. If you think everything's fine, tell us that too.
If you can believe it, it is February 1st. It's also Black History Month. So are there events going on in Burlington?
There are many activities that are happening for Black History Month. The library has an extensive list of events and authors, Black authors. One Burlington is planning an event this weekend at Fort Nelson United Church, special speakers. There are events really throughout Halton. So they don't all take place in Burlington, but I know our residents go. So there's a Black Excellence Gala in Oakville on Saturday night. So there's lots going on. So I would check. Most of these are actually community initiated, which is awesome. That's members coming forward and planning these events, and we support them either with promotions or by attending, albeit a number of these things as they unfold throughout the month. And there's a lot of resource online as well. I really encourage people to learn about the history of and heritage of Black residents here in the city of Burlington.
Awesome. And we haven't talked in a year. Usually I end with saying, is there anything you'd like to talk about?
Well, you know what? I will say that I am absolutely thrilled to be back for another 4 years in the community. I am so excited about this term of office because we have the ability to plan not just for the next term, but for the next 7 generations. And those are Indigenous teachings that they don't plan for the next couple of years. They plan for 7 generations out. That's what we need to do here in the city of Burlington when we're investing in community centers, when we're planning to accommodate the growth that the province is giving us. And it's a very, very exciting time in the life of the city of Burlington because we haven't changed a lot in the last 50 years. A lot of the stuff that we enjoy now was built a long time ago. So, on our watch, we get to set the community for the next 7 generations. So people won't even remember who I am, doesn't matter, but
Surely will.
we get to make sure that they're looked after and enjoy a quality of life that we all enjoy. I don't know who came before me either in terms of some of the decisions that were made for Spencer Smith Park or the community centers, but I enjoy them. And that's really the task ahead of this council.
Nice. One quick question. What one thing did you completely miss now that you're back in the office and kind of in a regular mode since we last talked?
I miss seeing people face to face.
Good answer.
That is really nice to have that mix.
And here we are.
And here we are online. Yeah, I know. I've been to your studio once right after the 2018 election, I remember, but yeah, it's too far away. Got to open a studio in Burlington.
So, Marianne Meed Ward, very nice chatting with you again, and we'll do this once a month.
Absolutely. Great to talk with you, Khaled.
Take care.